Feature Friday.
The freshest.
Sort of like due to the whole, Corona stuff, like training was cancelled and all this stuff, but I basically just woke up early for no reason.
No, that's a downer though.
Yeah. So you wake up, you
Such
put
a
your alarm, and
downer.
you're like, oh, for fuck's sake. But then I check my phone and I get this notification of Mike Tyson's podcast. He just did a podcast with Eminem, right?
Wow, cool.
So before doing anything, I literally woke up. I just woke up. I got ready to train, did everything, and then I have my gear on, and then I'm like, oh god, I forgot everything was cancelled. Go back to bed on my gear, right? And I just
love that.
get the notification and I put it on. I'm like, no way. And Mike Tyson was just in the Godzilla video.
Yeah.
So this podcast was pre-recorded. They didn't do it today because I think the setting was Eminem was just shooting the Godzilla video and they managed to get like an hour in
Right.
on the podcast.
That's good.
And it was so bizarre, Vale, to watch. I put it on speaker because I knew you were editing, so I knew maybe you'd be able to listen to it, a bit of it. But it was so bizarre to hear Eminem be like a kid.
Oh, that's
Because
so
he
fun.
loves Mike. He loves Mike Tyson. And it's what I was saying to you earlier. It's like because when you get someone who is a master at a craft, which you're completely foreign to, and you even if you've dipped your toes in that world, like for example Eminem, I think Eminem, he messes around with boxing and he's done a bit of sparring with some of the guys at the Kronk gym, which is the same, I think you pronounce it Kronks or Kronk, I'm not sure. It's the same boxer trainer that has trained same sort of family line of the same trainer Tyson Fury had right now for the Deontay Wilder
wow.
fight. I think, please do correct me if I'm wrong, that was my understanding of it.
That's crazy.
I'm not too big on boxing as it is right now. Just the heavyweight division, the Vasily Lomachenko's, Canelo Alvarez, blah blah blah, Ryan Garcia, like the big names. But I'm not big on like the training, like who's the trainers or stuff like that. So do correct me if I'm wrong. But it was just so strange to see Eminem knowing how like difficult from his perspective boxing is, and it is a bloody difficult sport.
It is crazy.
And then sitting like literally a bit farther away to Mike, and just him being like a fan, and just saying to him, it's like, dude, you would punch guys and they would just, you're knocking guys left and right. Me and my boys were just watching your fights, and he's like, if I do get a bit weird, just let me know. It was hilarious because you would think Eminem is like not a normal human.
It's the thing. You don't think. Eminem is like too cool for school.
Yeah.
He doesn't lose his mind over anything or anybody.
Right.
Ever.
Right.
He's just too cool.
But
And then you see him in that type of setting. It must be so refreshing. It's like a whole new side to the fans, I suppose.
I guess. But at the beginning, he did say, "You're getting Marshall Mathers right now."
Oh, I love that.
Because he said, I'm not a big follower of the Mike Tyson podcast. I've seen a few of them, but I don't know the names of the other co-host. Sorry. And he introduced Eminem as Slim Shady, and then M was like, "No, you're getting Marshall Mathers right now." And I was like, "Oh wow!"
Oh my god!
It's like
Oh
the
my
alter
God.
ego is switched off right now because
Yeah.
he's actually, he's being his inner kid, and it was just so bizarre to see that that interaction and stuff. And
That's awesome.
and then the way he was talking about Dre and the way he was talking about Proof, and like how grateful he is that like Proof was part of his life, because without Proof he wouldn't have.
Oh, that's crazy.
And D12 and all, and he was just talking about, his life a bit back. Actually, when it got a bit interesting, it got cut off because they only had about an hour, and Eminem did not want it to end. It was the other co-host, the other moderator sort of thing that kind of cut it
Kinda
short,
like
because I
understood,
think he was
yeah.
getting the eyes from the production team. He's like, hurry the hell up because we have a music video to shot. Yeah.
Cut it now.
To shoot. So, but Mike is hilarious because
He is the funniest scary person ever.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes I look at that guy in movies and I'm like, I don't know if he's joking. Should I laugh?
Who thought he
Or,
could
like,
act as well? He's a great actor.
Listen, he is fantastic. He's fantastic.
Yeah.
He's one of my favorite comedic like personalities
Yeah,
in movies.
yeah.
Honestly, I love what he brings to the tables every single time.
Because you don't know if he's serious or not.
Exactly. And I'm like, this is the type of person that if I would be around, then I would be like, should I cry now?
Yeah, but now that he has, one of the things I was also reading the comments of that podcast, and one of the things that people kind of highlighted was that, and even if you see the podcast of Mike Tyson with Joe Rogan,
Mm-hmm.
he talks about himself back then like if he was another person.
Fair enough. That's, that's really interesting though.
Because, and he says now that like he wouldn't be able to switch that on, and he doesn't like going to gyms and boxing and stuff like that, practicing, because he says he doesn't want to turn that back on.
Interesting. That's very interesting.
And the biggest takeaway was
it's like a monster, just a lion, just sleeping in.
Yeah,
inside
he would
of
do
him. That's
hypnosis. He would do hypnosis before fights and before training and stuff, to just be like, I'm gonna kill this motherfucker. Basically, it's crazy. But the biggest takeaway
so scary.
that he said to Eminem at the end was like, "You're the only white guy that knows what it's like to be a nit."
Oh, wow.
And then everyone in the comments is like, in there, Eminem was like, "Well, I don't know how to answer that."
What do I say to that?
And that's like one of the greatest Mike Tyson lines ever. And at the end, but towards the end, he did say something really, really interesting. That he says, something that you need to be really successful in one discipline. So, like for example, that be in boxing, where it's you gotta be willing to kill in there, be crazy and stuff like that. Chaos, right? Can lead to disaster in other
places of your life, aspects of your life,
or other disciplines, in other crafts.
It's very interesting because it does. I mean, this is the thing though. I understand that very clearly, because it's like when you learn a basic discipline, for example, say swimming. The rigorous training that leads to competitions, and talking from experience, you train, there's a lot of things that go step by step that you lead towards a competition or whatever you're working on towards, regionals or whatever. You take that discipline, and then I started applying that my sports discipline to my performance and choreo learning discipline. It did not fit. It wouldn't fit, right? And I used to think, wait, what do you mean? I'm still working with my body. Like, it's still my body.
Yeah.
How come this concept, this idea, this way of working doesn't apply to this?
The sort of mindset, just, yeah.
It's crazy. So I coming from a fighting background, a martial arts background, into the entertainment industry.
That's crazy.
That's like total polar opposites. Like, it's hard to even manage those two ideas in the same line.
Yeah, Mike Tyson's resurfacing. Is that a word?
Resurfacing.
I don't know.
I don't know. I think you just made it
Resurgence, resurrection, right? Because he was, really
comeback.
Yeah, comeback. That's a better word, isn't it? Because he usually when a fighter like in the heavyweight division like that took the damage that Mike Tyson took, right, and went for such chaos.
Yeah.
And then it's like, it doesn't usually end well. And then you add money, you add fame, you add, and the way he's been able to now still be
flip his life around,
such a household name, and live alive and be good to his children and
be an example of life now, be a model, a role model for
before,
generations.
like 15, 20 years ago, you would have thought like that guy's crazy.
Yeah,
the guy's nuts.
Yeah. You wouldn't want to take that guy into.
Yeah, sit down with him and talk. Are you crazy? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now and he's so wise and so smart.
Well, it comes from all the hardships and having, because this is what I think, when you have, it's like Tyson Fury, when you have such a low to find the strength to go back up, climb the same mountain one more time.
Yeah.
I feel like they are rewriting their own steps, rewriting their own stories. They got a chance to really take all of their mistakes in and dissect them, understand them bit by bit, and put the puzzle back together the right way round this time.
Yeah.
And that is something that gives people knowledge, and it makes them wise enough to be able to, like, because they comprehend things in a very different way now, because they have seen them in a really, they went like a truck demolishing everything on its way, and suddenly they have a chance, when it all stops, they have a chance to rewind the tape, but they're walking it this time. You see what I'm saying? So it's not high speed, it's not destruction. Like, you have to pick up the pieces to build it back up again, and whilst you're picking up the pieces, you're starting to understand everything.
Yeah. At one point, Eminem did say as well, it's like he wasn't the smartest, you know what I mean? He has like an eighth grade education, so he says, you know, that wasn't my strength, you know, that was my stronghold. And then Mike Tyson straight away told him, it's like, no, it's not about academic, it was just about the journey you made. And it was just such a great podcast. Like, if you haven't seen it, you just do, because it's so interesting to watch two pillars of different games that have so many similarities but are so different. Yeah. Because that's what Mike Tyson was saying. It's like hip hop to me back in the day, when I was on the streets putting in work, it represent like hip hop is the type of music we listened to before we started robbing fools. You know what I mean? Before we started pulling up on people in the club, watching who was who, and that's what hip hop represented to us. So it's that, you know, a robust, rough street life, and then when Eminem is like, well, boxing to you know, to my friends and I, just meant, you know, he's the toughest sport ever. And then Mike Tyson added, it's like, it's not about, you know, everyone's rough, everyone's tough. It's about the smartest in there. And you're like, oh my gosh, this is cold, and it's crazy. Yeah. It's one of my favorite podcasts ever. And it was only like 45 minutes, which pissed me off.
That's, he has to go back.
Yeah, part 2, man.
He has to go back.
Part 2.
Let's sign a petition. It's incredible.
All right. Sup, people, if you're a dancer. Sup, people, if you're watching this and you're a rapper or a beat producer,
a singer, a ghostwriter, or even just somebody who likes new music,
and this is for you.
Feature Friday is the show where we make new music every week, featuring your tracks, your raps, your lyrics, or yourself as an artist.
There's no catch. This isn't one of those weird posts where you click on the website and you're trying to order AirPods and they say it's free, and then you have to pay like $100,000 million for shipping. This is completely free. We understand how difficult it is in the music industry to get seen, and there's so many amazing rappers and singers and beat producers out there. So this is just a place to showcase your skills. We showcase our skills. We make music every week, which we love doing anyways. We get to show new artists to new people, and new people to new artists.
So if you'd like to get featured next, message me here on Instagram or email me, and we will get in touch pretty soon.
Please do it fast, because a waiting list is forming and we don't want anyone waiting around. Keep scrolling by.
See you Friday.
Peace.
Bye-bye.